This is TCN English News Edition, and you're watching with me, Ning Hoi Kim Khong Sai. First, the headlines. Kuki stops student body boycotts Manipur's PhED examination. Kuki's top tribal body questions the rationality of MHS meeting. Arambai Tangle demands Arambai Tangle as banned outlaw organization. Various tribal bodies reject scrapping of free movement regime. News in detail. Discontent and frustrated over the alleged non-responsiveness stance of the authority concerned in connections with the demand for an examination center in Churachandpur, the Kuki Students' apex body, the Kuki Students' Organization's General Headquarters, decided to boycott the upcoming Public Health Engineering Department examination. The Kuki's top student body stated that on November 27 last year, it had officially communicated its concerns to the relevant department, urging a review of the examination center allocation. But, regrettably, no response has been received. To that, leaving us with no choice but to take a stand against such blatant disregard for our legitimate demand. Vehemently condemning the alleged biased treatment meted out by the authorities concerned, the KSO General Headquarters stated that the lack of considerations for the genuine needs and aspirations of the Kukis or aspirants is a clear violation of our rights, and a dereliction of the duty to ensure equal opportunities for all. It also stated that the Kukis or aspirants who have been eagerly preparing for the PhED examinations deserve fair and equal opportunities, and denying them the option to take the exam in Churachandpur is a direct infringement on their rights and a clear indications of the systematic neglect that the region has endured for far too long. In light of the alleged unresponsiveness from the concerned authorities, Kuki's top student body issued a stern advisory to all Kukis or aspirants, urging them not to participate in the upcoming PhED examinations until the demands are adequately addressed. We believe that the denial of an examination center in Churachandpur is an affront to the educational aspirations of our community, and we stand united in our decisions to boycott the exam until justice is served, it stated. The KSO General Headquarters also called upon the authorities to recognize the severity of the matter and engage in a constructive dialogue with them to find a swift resolution. It is our sincere hope that the concerns of the Kukis or aspirants will be given the attention they deserve, and justice will prevail, it stated. Kuki's top student body further stated that it remained committed to advocating for the rights and well-being of Kuki students, and we will not waver in our pursuit of a fair and just resolution to this matter. The Kukis' top tribal body, the Committee on Tribal Unity, or the COTU, Cedar Hills questioned the rationality of the visit of the three-member panel from the Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India's meeting the alleged Ramojineering radicalized militias, the Arambai Tangle, while vehemently demanding the Government of India to declare the Arambai Tangle as a banned outlaw organization. The committee also considered the MHF visit as a one-sided appeasement policy, alleging that the team was stopping short of meeting the minority Kukizo community who bore the major brunt of brutality and mass genocide. It stated that COTU represents all kindred tribes of the Kukizo in the ensuing communal conflict and strongly opposed the one-sided appeasement policy of the central government. The committee also condemned the alleged prescriptive tactics by providing succor to M. Biren Singh, who allegedly has failed miserably to fulfill his constitutional mandate, and the central government's attempts to absolve him from his political miscalculation. this act of randoming the unqualified and incapacitated leader in a state where the party is in power has a damning consequence and has belittled the image and reputations of BJP, is stated. Drawing the attention of the central government, the committee stated that lasting peace and restorations of normalcy in the state could only be achieved if the government of India first banned the Aram Bitangle as outlaw and illegal arms office while imposing AFSPA within the 19 police stations in the valley, which were earlier exempted from the purview of the State Act, and ultimately recognized the physical and geographical separation between the Kukis and the Métis. It further stated that these separations will ensure an amenable and cordial relationships between the two warring communities in the coming days. The NSC and IM has made its stance clear that they will not allow the proposed border fencing along Myanmar border in the Naga lands. On the issues of illegal immigrants, NSC and IM say that the Naga themselves would control any illegal immigrants in the Naga soil and they will not allow any illegal immigrants in their territory. In a press release, NSC stated that Nagas are indigenous people with a high level of political consciousness, cultural and social cohesion. They are also fully aware of the irrefutable historical narratives of the Naga nations that transcends the international barriers, oppressively created by the Indian and Myanmar governments without consulting the Nagas. Such manner of injustice and wrong conduct against the Nagas continues to haunt the Nagas till today. The release stated that the Naga political movement came into existence with an avowed stand to defend the historical and political rights of the Naga nations and to put an end to the hegemony of the government of India and Myanmar in the manner that is acceptable and honorable. The recent move of the government of India to abolish the Time Honor FMR has come as a rude shock to the group in particular and to the whole Nagas in general, stated the release. The move to abolish the FMR reminds NSC and IM of the treacherous divisions of the Nagas by the Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, and the Burmese Prime Minister U Nu in 1953, it added. However, the fact remains that the Nagas have never accepted the arbitrary international boundary demarcation set up by the two prime ministers, and the Nagas living on either side of the so-called international border have remained as one family, defying all the odds, the NSC and IM stated. The NSC and IM expressed that the Nagas as one family need free movement from both sides. NSC and IM further stated that ironically, the nature of the boundary demarcation was so cruel that it ran right through the house of Longwa King in Mon district. Nothing can be crueler than such demarcations while dividing the Naga family, the group said. The World Cookie Zoo Intellectual Council, WKZIC, sent a letter to the Union Home Minister Amit Shah seeking acknowledgement of the contributions of cookies in the Indian independence movement and importance of Jain cookies for the smooth and success of India's Look East and Act East policies, trade and Trans-Asian Highway along AA's route from Hangbom, Kangpokpi via Palel, Tingnopal, More, Tamil to Kampat, Myanmar stretching 160 kilometers and other corridors from India to Southeast Asia. In its letter, the WKZIC states that the World Cookie Zoo Intellectual Council, WKZIC General Headquarters, Songpi Lamka, Cookie Hills, India, has the honor to seek your honorable office acknowledgement of the contributions of the cookies in the Indian independence movement under Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, 1942 to 1945, in the Indian National Army, INA, or Azad Hind Fauj, and their importance in the ongoing India's Look East and Act East policies and Trans-Asian Highway (AH) of ethnic Chin Kuki people who dominated 160-kilometer stretch of AH from Hengbung, Kangpokpi, India, and district via Palel, Mulnoi to Tingnopal, More, Tamu to Kampat, Myanmar stated in the above subject as under. The British for the first time launched a punitive expeditions in present-day Manipur from 31 March to 27 April 1891 and took possession of Kangla Fort on the 27 April 1891 under political agent Major Maxwell. The relationships between Kukis and the British remained cordial till WWI and the British issued many land-holding rights and documents to the Kukis in 1907. However, when the British demanded 2,000 labor corps to go to France, the Kukis refused and declared war in 1917. 8 years later, different tribal communities from present northeastern India in thousands were recruited into the Imperial Army's labor corps to build roads, carry luggage, and provide other kinds of logistical support. 2,100 Lusai labor corps, 600 Mao Naga corps, nearly 3,500 Nagas, and 3,000 Jin labor corps went to France, who were later patronated by the imperial government as Lusai Hills, Naga Hills, and Jin Hills, which were all upgraded as states Mizoram, Nagaland, and Chinland in post-independent era, and Kuki Hills remained neglected till date, enduring 3 times ethnic cleansing or genocides in independent India during 1960s, 1990s, and 2020s, respectively. While the 1917-1919 Anglo War, Kuki War, was one of the biggest uprisings by the tribes against the British, Kuki resistance first emerged in the 18th century, when fighters from the Hill tribe attacked British subjects in the Chittagong Hill Tracts. It intensified after the Treaty of Yandabu signed in 1826 and bringing to an end the First Anglo-Burmese War. Under the treaty, the Burmese signed away large tracts of what is now India's northeast, including Assam, Manipur, and the hill areas, to the British. The later party says there were periodic Kuki raids on British subjects after that. In 1845, 1847, 48, 1849, 1850, and 1851. In the Great Kuki invasions of Tipperah in the 1816s, 15 villages were bombed and around 185 British subjects killed. Ipsita Chakravarti, 16 August 2017, India, address 70. The war between the British Imperial Army and Kuki warriors began on the 17th October 1970 with the burning down of Lompi Mombi, Haukip Kuki village, and continued for consecutive 3 years and ended on the 8th December 1919 after all Kuki warrior leaders chiefs were arrested. Altogether, 12 Kuki chiefs from British India under the leadership of Jingzapao Dongal were arrested and sentenced for 15 to 20 years imprisonment and later relaxed for 3 to 4 years and sent to Sadia Islands and Andaman and Nicobar Cellular Jail. Another 12 Kuki chiefs from British Burma under the leadership of Kamsahend Kipgen were arrested with the same sentence and imprisoned in Dwangyi Jail in Burma. The suzerainty of British supremacy in Indian subcontinent was resisted by every princely kingdom in erstwhile Indian subcontinent. India's greatest movement for independence was the Revolt of 1857, also known as Sepoy Mutiny. Mahatma Gandhi and Subhash Chandra Bose led the masses and fought side by side to set free India from the yoke of British for self-rule. Gandhi was non-violent, ahimsa protagonist, whereas Subhash Chandra Bose was a radical who opted for armed revolutions. About 200 Kuki warriors from Kuki Hills joined the Indian National Army (INA) or Azad Hind Fauj under Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose during 1942 to 45. 170 Kuki Indian National Army INA got enshrined in the monolith erected by Kuki War Memorial Committee with an epithet Kuki Freedom Fighters. Some 27 Meitei Manipuris too joined the INA and got listed in the book published by the Arts and Culture Department, Government of Manipur in 2010. On January 24, the remaining 92 Myanmar soldiers who had sought refuge in Mizoram, India, were repatriated back to Myanmar. This event followed the crash landing of a Myanmar military plant at Mizoram's Lengpui airport near Aizawl. These soldiers were part of the largest group of 276 troops who had fled to India after the king was overtaken amid clashes with rebel groups. The soldiers initially entered Banduk Banga, village at the India-Myanmar, Bangladesh, Tree-Junction, and sought assistance from the Assam Rifles, as per India Today, Northeast. The first batch of 184 soldiers was sent back on Monday, while the remaining 92 were repatriated the following day. These repatriations brought the total number of Myanmar soldiers who have fled to Mizoram since November 13th of the previous year to 635 as they escaped the conflict between the Myanmar army and ethnic armed organizations as well as pro-democratic forces. Kuki Impi Manipur, the apex body of the Kuki tribes, has stated that the coalitions of the Manipur government and the Arambai Tengal, who are the perpetrators in the genocides of the Kuki community, indicates that justice and peace remained a distant dream. Kuki Impi Manipur issued a press release on Wednesday in response to the event in Imphal, wherein the Arambai Tengal and the Valley-based MLAs had a meeting which was initiated by the Arambai Tengal. KIM stated that they condemn the demise and subsequent burial of democracy in Manipur on the 24th January 2024 at the heart of the capital city, Imphal, Manipur. KIM stated that separate administrations is the only means for Kuki's survival, as we can no longer coexist with a community that blatantly supports and advocates militias and terrorist organizations hell-bent on annihilating and wiping out the Kuki's people. It is alarming that the state government has openly accorded state patronage to non-state actors, namely the Arambai Tengal, as all the Meitei elected representatives succumb to the dictates of the Meitei militias in their collective missions to annihilate all the indigenous Kuki people in Manipur, stated the release. The nature, extent, and modus operandi of ethnic cleansing against the oppressed Kuki people by the hate-filled Meitei community in collusions with the Ambiran Singlet BJP government have been manifested in broad daylight at Kangla. A few meters from Ras Pawant and CM's bungalow were members of the Arambai Tengal and the Meitei terrorists who loaded 6,000 plus arms and more than 5 lakh ammunition from the state armorers were accorded VVIP status, sign of their crimes and anti-national activities it aided. KIM claimed that such illegal acts of anarchy, totalitarian, Manipur state government and its cohorts, namely the Arambai Tengal and the Meitei terrorists, clearly prove that there has been a complete failure of constitutional machinery and a total breakdown of law and order in the state. Seeing the cacophony of spectacles conducted today, it is not surprising, as it has always been known to all since the outbreak of ethnic cleansing who the real perpetrators are. And today, we Kukis stand vindicated, KIM aided. The oath-taking and the subsequent resolutions under the dictates of the Meitei militia Arambai Tengal in broad daylight and the blatant disregard for law and order under the watchful eye of the elected government points to the fact that the Manipur government and the Meitei communities' call for peace was merely hollow lip service and sheer hypocrisy, stated the release. In review of the transferring of power and authority by the Manipur state government to the legitimate Meitei militias on Wednesday, the Kuki MP Manipur reiterates its stated demand and makes a clarion call to the government of India to expedite process for separate administration to the Kuki-Zo people, it added. Yesterday, the 24th of January 2024, the Kuki MP Cedar Hills KISH visited Gangam Training Center, Jingzapal Battalion, Kuki Police Volunteers, Bungpi area. 15 members along with KSO General Headquarters and 3 nurses went for the visit. KISH President Thangmilin Kipgen, in his speech among the trainees, said, "We the Kukis are not meant to win war, but to be victims of war. After we fought the British war, nearby communities had been waging war against us after every 30 years, and we had never once emerged victorious in all the wars we had fought, which is owing to the fact that we had poor coordination system," he added. Even in the present war, we lack coordinations and communications amongst the leaders of different districts and places of a settlement, though we all are facing the same enemy. KISH President Fateh says that if we urgently do not form a central unified command under the name of Kuki and improve our coordinations and communications among ourselves, this present war, like the past wars we had fought, will also be tantamount to meaningless without any fruitful outcomes. Benny CO Sinai Camp said in his speech that rumors blame his soldiers and the village volunteers regarding the Camel Lock incident, but he's happy for them. The patriotic youths, in order to fight for the people and then undergo rigorous training without caring much about the rest of the world, is highly appreciable, he added. The CEO of Fateh says that there is worth allotment based on our positions and departments and organizations. Once the tribe leaders under unified command gives order, we the soldiers and village volunteers should effectively carry out the commands, and only then we will be able to achieve our goals and determinations, he added. The Zomi Chiefs Association's General Headquarters has sent a letter to the Prime Minister's office requesting to reconsider the proposed fencing of Indo-Myanmar border. In its letter, the Zomi Chiefs Association's General Headquarters state that it is with a profound sense of urgency and unwavering resolve that we express our deep concerns and resolute opposition to the proposed fencing of the Indo-Myanmar border. Throughout the annals of history, the Zomi people have stood as custodians of their sacred land, unwaveringly defending it against all intrusions. The resilience of our community is etched in the pages of time, evident even during the impositions of British colonial rule in the late 19th century, marked by frequent rebellions. While this chapter left a temporary stain, our collective spirit remained unbroken, impervious to attempts that failed to penetrate the depths of our hearts. The Zo country, once a contiguous and independent domain, fell victim to arbitrary divisions orchestrated by the British, though the Manipur Chin Hills Boundary Commissions 1894 and the Manipur Chin Hills Lusai Hills Boundary Commissions 1901, all transpiring without the consent of the Zomi people. Regrettably, these colonial borders persisted through the partitions of British India and British Burma 1937, crystallizing into inflexible boundaries upon the independence of India and Burma 1947 and 1948. As a trans-border tribe shaped by modern state-making concepts, the Zomis have consistently embodied the spirit of unity, exemplified by an open border and the free movement regime, fostering the fluid movement of people across border. In our capacity as a trans-border tribe, we have steadfastly cooperated with and supported the government of India, contributing to the maintenance of peace and security along the border. It is imperative to underscore that the unilateral implementations of border fencing poses a severe threat to the long-standing peace and tranquility along the Indo-Myanmar border. The free movement regime, pivotal in nurturing intermarriage, mutual visit, and collaborative effort during natural disasters, stands as a testament to the shared history and cooperations between the Zomi people and the government of India. The Entitlement Advocacy Seminar was held today at Dadim Jin Youth Association's Hall, Gochin Kupven. The seminar was organized by Women Empowering, Equipping and Sending WEES Ministry, where various resource persons, religious leaders took part. The event emphasized on empowering women, promote women participating in all fields of life. Resource persons in the seminar were Advocate Mansiant and Advocate Biak Hoi, respectively. The Solam Haupi Area Youth Development Organization grievously condemned the barbaric behavior of bandits and gang party who tortured and looted passengers along the way of Solam Haupi area Sangaikot subdivisions in this time of war. In regards to this, the SHAYDO issued a public notice warning the assailants that if caught red-handed by the SHAYDO, the culprits will be mercilessly treated, irrespective of their tribes or which organizations they belong to, and no organizations or the public should blame the SHAYDO regarding the actions taken upon the culprits. If anyone doesn't heed the warning and is caught on the act, the public and SHAYDO will jointly punish the culprits suitably. All citizens are requested to work for the betterment of the society and community in these times of war and do not do the opposite. That's all from us tonight, and we thank you for joining our program.